America East Hoops fans, I'm Dani Klupenger, and this week on our AE Hoops chat, I've got Kai Moon from Binghamton here with me. And first of all, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you guys have a chance to clinch a home playoff game with a win on Wednesday. How crucial is that for you guys, especially since you were on the road for the quarterfinal last year?
It's huge. I know our fans are great and we play well at home. So knowing that for that first game is going to be huge and just making a push deep into the conference playoffs, I think that's going to be incredibly crucial for us to play in front of, my friends, and if all the higher seeds win, that'll be the last time I'll play here. So I would love to be able to do that in front of the fans. I think that'd be great.
So I want to take that one step further. I'm sorry for the interruption noise there, but you haven't played in a playoff game at the Event Center in your career. And I know you just mentioned your friends, but what is it about the atmosphere there that would make that so crucial for you guys moving forward and advancing to the next round?
We've got a great band. The community is great, and I know that they'll come out in even larger numbers for such a big game. I think the conference tournament was actually held there before I got to Binghamton, I think the year before, a couple years before, and everyone always talked about how great that was, and I think they actually won the first game there. So I've always wanted to play in an atmosphere that might benefit us. In some ways. So I'd love to have that experience to share with the fans, the community, and just, with my teammates in my last year.
I've told your coach this before in the past, but when I played at Stony Brook, when we played at Binghamton, I was a good shooter. But every time I played at Binghamton, for some reason, I was not a good shooter. Like I can specifically remember an air ball, which I can't even believe I just admitted that on this chat for you. But yeah, it is a tough place to play. And if you guys are able to get that done, that's awesome. Can you kind of generalize what this season has been like for this team? If you could put it in a nutshell.
I couldn't have written how this season has gone, I think, any better than what it has right now. We had a lot of new players come in this year. I think we had like 6 freshmen and Hannah transferred in from Siena. We have an incredible bond collectively as a team. And I think that's made, all of our, the 9-0 record to start off the season so much more special. This is the first year I've verbalized a lot of the goals that I've had publicly. And I know one of those was a 20-win season. And we're right on the cusp of achieving that. And especially from, how we finished last year and Coach Ord just becoming my coach last year, I think that would be a great moment to share with her as well. But this season has been incredible. And this is my last year. So this is definitely a perfect way to kind of near the end of it. But it's been amazing. And we still have so much more work to do in the last, little part of this season, but I'm incredibly excited to see, where this team can go.
Man, even I got chills hearing you talk about that. I can only imagine how emotional and exciting it's been for you. Well, you are in the top 15 in the NCAA in scoring, which is just so impressive. How have you evolved yourself and your game your senior year?
I put in, I think, so much more work in the off season, just knowing that this was going to be my last year. And last season, I think we fell short of a lot of the goals that we wanted to accomplish and a lot of the goals that I personally wanted to achieve. I know I was injured for a good half of the season, but knowing that this is the last time I'm going to be able to do a lot of things, I pushed myself so much harder, and I knew in certain individual players and certain teams what they'd be bringing back, and I knew I had to prepare myself for that. And then me being a lot of the focal points of a lot of defenses, I knew a lot of the leadership would have to come from me, and just the skill set in general would have to come from me as well. So I really pushed myself a lot harder in the off season to be the best player that I could possibly be for my team.
You really hit the nail on the head, because that's what I wanted to ask you about. You play every team in this conference twice, and they know on the scouting report, as do you know, that it's Kai Moon. We have to stop her. Does that make it that much harder for you, or do you like that challenge?
I definitely welcome the challenge, but it's difficult. And I know this is the first year that I've really been face guarded. Kind consistently for the most part. And I think me working through that was difficult, and, not trying to get frustrated, still trying to play within myself, within the offense, and also asserting myself at certain times. I think there was me trying to figure out that balance. But it gets challenging, and there are great coaches in this league with great defensive strategies on how to play us. And I think this was the first year I saw a box in one, a triangle in two. So it's a lot of learning, as the game progresses. And I think our coaching staff has done a great job putting me as well as my teammates in positions for us to succeed.
Well, kudos to you on that, because I know it is quite annoying to
Yeah.
have Nat follow you around
Yeah.
the perimeter and just denying you the basketball and not playing that fundamental defense that you're so used to be able to work off of, which I totally understand. When I talked to Coach, or she talked about the senior leadership, can you just talk about your seniors in general, and maybe your attitude this year out of just your senior class?
Yeah, Carly and Carly, actually, some of my best friends, we came in together, and to see how we've progressed into now being the leaders of the team, I think is really, really exciting to see. And, the girls on the team always tell us how much they feel like we really bring the team together. And we all have different leadership styles. Carly's a lot more quiet and not as vocal, but she's great at teaching in certain moments. KK is a definitely lead by example type of player. She does the little things, all the hustle plays. She's got a crazy motor, so I think people are already just amazed by her just looking at that. And then there's me. I can be intense at times, and but I definitely push, each and every single one of my teammates to be better. And I try to build connections with them outside of basketball, so that when we come on the court, everything is pretty black and white, and it's not anything that anybody would take personally. And I think the three of us together have done a great job of bringing everybody in, showing them the way that, we want to play, the way we want the season to go. And I think that leadership is, or the product of this season is kind of what you've seen from the leadership of the three of us.
And just taking that one step further, my last question is, because you have so many youngsters on the team, what is it that you're telling them and preparing them for playoff basketball? Because that is just right around the corner.
Yeah, that's a whole different type of atmosphere, and I've been only on the losing side of that for the first round of games, and just knowing that you're never out of a game. Definitely my sophomore year, that was very, very apparent, but just that the preparation that you've put in for the season, you have to continue that. Also, the wins that you had up until now don't matter.
Yeah.
One loss, one win can change the entire outcome of your season, and it doesn't matter what seed you are. And I believe in this conference, any team is capable of beating any team on any given night. So it's definitely a matter of being diligent in your preparation, but also having fun and trying to savor that moment. Sorry, I don't know what
it was a lot of emotion. You got the emotion lights going.
Yeah, sorry about that. But just trying to savor the moment, and these are the memories that we're going to remember for a really long time. So just trying to cherish that and have fun. I think that's basically the gist of what I've tried to convey to them.
Kai, you've already made it through this interview, and we've had a phone call, we've had the lights go off, we had text and you still made it through like it was no big deal. So I can only imagine what you're going to do in the playoffs and the rest of the season. So best of luck to you. I hope you guys secure that home court advantage for yourselves in the playoffs. And thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.